Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take, and I've got my Mark Dice brand new shirt. You people shame me into buying new shirts. You ready for another video, Joan? Are you ready? Good. Um, this is something I told you. Here's a protester a protester. They keep calling them protesters, but you know, this guy is, yeah, I know. He seems to be more than a protester to me. He was busted for allegedly trying to cut NYPD van's brakes. Come here, doggy. Here, you want to sit over here? Oh, I don't know why I bothered. Okay, happy? This is Jeremy Trapp. He was charged for allegedly telling a paid informant who was embedded at a demonstration or riot that he also wanted to blow up the Verrazano Bridge, according to prosecutors. Now, this is from New York Post. That is the part that I told you, right? They got a paid informant. I told you, Antifa guys, there are paid informants. You cannot trust anybody. You think you can, but they get people, they charge them with a ton of stuff, and they say, listen, if you want to get out from under this and not go to prison for 10 years or 20 years or however many years, you're going to wear a wire and help catch other people that you know. And this is exactly what happened. And this guy was, in my view, a good catch. In secretly recorded conversations with the informant, Trapp allegedly argued that the demonstrations weren't achieving their aims because they were too peaceful. Trapp questioned the value of burning police cars and allegedly said that they could inflict more damage by setting precincts on fire and cutting NYPD vehicle brake lines. During the city's mostly peaceful demonstrations, if you can imagine, New York Post, against police brutality sparked by the killing of George Floyd, cops have been the targets of violent attacks and their cars vandalized and set on fire. That doesn't sound like mostly peaceful to me. Trapp allegedly told the informant during a drive in Brooklyn that he wanted to, quote, burn the Verrazano Narrows Bridge down so that, quote, white supremacists could not use it. Which, have you ever been to New York, dude? Uh, this is the kind of idiocy that is rife right now. I think a lot of these people are just caught up in it. It's a trend. It's cool. They think they're being cool and hip and righteous to do this kind of behavior. They don't understand the consequences of it. They don't. They just don't. Who could possibly want to risk jail for 20 years to do a stupid stunt like this? What to do what exactly? Uh, you know, and he didn't even manage to cut the brake line. He ended up cutting something else. So thankfully he wasn't even good at that. But this is like crazy. And I told you there was going to be CIs, and there's more. There's more in there, and they're recording you. They're recording you on the phone. They're gonna. Doesn't matter that your network is encrypted. When you got people on the inside, doesn't matter how much you encrypt. Those people have access to the encryption too, and they're sharing it with the FBI. The FBI doesn't mess around. They get you. They'll get you. And this is a perfect storm for them. The FBI, for years, they didn't go after people in the United States all that much, it seemed. Especially after the Bush era, They were all about terrorists and ISIS and all these people who weren't even here, for the most part. They had to go out of their way just to lure people into potential stings, and now they don't have to. They don't really have to do much. Just really have to record these people. Because keep in mind, if you remember the Project Veritas videos of the Bernie Sanders organizers, these guys were radical, socialist, hardcore anarcho-communist, and they said a lot of off-the-cuff stuff in those hidden camera videos, right? They said, Milwaukee's gonna burn, stuff like that. So you've seen the behavior of these Antifa types. Now imagine what they say. Now imagine what they'd like to do if they could, what they plan to do. Now, of course, some of it is bluster, but that's not going to matter. That's not going to matter in an FBI sting. It's not going to matter when you get caught with some of the explosives or some of the bomb parts or some of whatever. It's not going to matter when you get caught cutting NYPD brake lines. Because, you see how it looks. It looks like, wow, thank God that's all he did. Thank God we caught him before he could blow up the Verrazano Bridge. So, his lawyers got quite a tap dance to do. And I can't imagine it's going to make much of a difference for him. These people are so possessed by an ideology that's so destructive and so anti-American. I mean, I have to say it. It's anti-American, right? These people are actually against America. They've been caught up in the trend so much, they think, oh, I'm in a revolution and we're going to overthrow America. It's just a matter of time. We just got to keep moving forward and blah, blah, blah. No, but they're going to do a lot of damage. I mean, this is a lot of damage, right? He damaged a police car. I'm sure his family must be going nuts. And these are relatively young people. This guy is, what was he, 24? Excuse me, Joe. I think they said he was 24 in one of the articles I read. Yeah, I mean, he's, by the time he gets out of prison, if he does 20 years in prison, he'll probably do at least 10. He'll be in his mid-30s. It'll be 2 presidents from now. And then what? How's he gonna live his life at that point? I mean, some guys, they get out of prison, their family's gone or disown them. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And what does he think's going to happen to him while he's in prison? Does he think the revolution will happen and he'll get cut loose? No. And this is part of the reason the bail reform in New York is so damaging. Because if he had been jailed on a lesser charge, first off, the FBI probably wouldn't have intervened. And secondly, he would have gotten at least a lesser charge, and gotten a dose of, oh man, this is jail. I got to straighten up. I got to stop doing this behavior. Instead, they cut him loose, and that only encourages him to do it again. These people are escalating. Out in Portland, they're starting to go to residential homes. Now, the woman there was a video online where they harass a woman on her porch, and she's actually, she seems to be a virulent bigot. She's wearing a bad guy from World War II armband, strangely enough, according to at least Tim Pool was reporting. But that doesn't give you the right to bother her at her home on her property. I mean, she was in her home. But these people just showed up and started harassing her. And these are Antifa guys. So it's going to only escalate from there unless these governments get on board with stopping them. Now, I'm fortunate that I live in New Jersey. Antifa is already considered a terrorist organization here. And so far, we've been spared the brunt of a lot of it. But in other states, especially the Democratic states, it's just running rampant. The Democratic states are literally burning. They're burning. And they would rather do that and hold their actual citizens hostage to make it look like Trump is at fault somehow than to do the most basic things in protecting the citizenry. And it's very basic. You arrest people. They get out of hand, you arrest people. If they peacefully protest, you leave them alone. But if they break windows, you arrest them. It's as simple as that. It's not being done. But the CIs have infiltrated. And it's just the beginning. The FBI is going to go after you guys and go after you guys. You're the new flavor of the week for them. I told you. I told you.